what time it is. It's Edu My Curls. Yes, honey. Finally, I am getting a moment to film this video for you guys. Just the research and the education that I found on curls. Just natural hair. Learning more about my hair. How I can spread some knowledge to you guys. And this is most likely going to be like a 2-3 part video because I want to keep it between 9 to 10 minutes so that I can film it on, or not film it, but post it on my IGTV. So we're going to try and stay on time, on schedule. I have my phone with my notes in it, so I will be looking down, and I will have my timer too so I can make sure I'm not doing this. So let's get started. I definitely had to take my glasses off because the ring light was all up in my lenses and I didn't want it to be too distracting. So let's start off. So just to kind of, put it out there, all the information I'm going to be sharing with you guys, kind of bear in mind that everyone's hair is different and everyone's texture is different. Everyone's DNA is different. We could find our curl twins. I found someone that has like kind of the same curl pattern as mine, but both of our hairs can react differently based off of this information and based off of the products that I even use, which I'm going to do a separate video on, just showing you guys the products that I'm currently using, and that's been helping my hair kind of flourish on my journey. So a lot of this research that I did, I took a lot of time, and I'm not one to like to read a lot, which is very ironic because I like to write. But I just, my attention span is all over the place sometimes. So it is a lot of information, but I'm going to try my best to condense it. And you'll be hearing me throughout this video saying that I have the links to the resources that I found this information from. So if you need to refer back to it, you can always come back to this video and you can check out the links. So just wanted to say that. Also, the heavy details behind the ingredients or elements I'll be discussing. Yes, I'll leave the links. I just said that. Okay, so I've been seeing how when it comes to choosing products, how the first 5 ingredients are the most important. Not the only important thing, but the first 5 ingredients are the most important elements. Why? Because these are the most functional ingredients being used in the actual product. The rest of the ingredients are typically less than 1% in the product. Now, in reading this article that I'll have linked below, mentioned how even though the rest are less than 1%, they still contribute to preserving the products. So, like shelf life. Also, it mentioned how much water is important in the products that we use because it takes up between 50 to 80% of the product. So now that we've established, what the most important ingredients are to pay attention to, now let's talk about what to shy away from and what to gravitate towards. So I was taking a look at the stash that I have, which varies from TGIN, Shea Moisture, I have Fortified Naturals, Jessie Curls, Naturally, United Curls, Cake Batter, and Diva Curl. I'll start off by saying, majority of those products, which I will show in another video, I really, really like and are really good for my hair and what I've been needing, which is hydration and moisture all the way. So I'll, break down more so as far as those products and what's in it and what's good for you. But we're going to focus on really ingredients and products that you presently may have or may be looking to get, and how to determine what is going to help your hair to flourish. So I was reading up on proteins, and here's what I gathered. I'm going to try to make this sound like English as best as I can. So some products contain amino acids, which are also known as proteins, that are water soluble and broken down into smaller fragments so that they can readily absorb into the cortex of the hair. Hope you understood that, because I don't even know if I did. Hydrolyzed proteins penetrate the cuticle and absorb to the cortex of the hair as well. protein absorption has been found to increase the strength and elasticity of the hair, which is why some people use protein treatments to revive their limp curls when they get their hair straightened or have heat damage. And more damaged hair, or the more damaged your hair is, the more it'll absorb the product. Now, if you have healthier hair, which hasn't been exposed to any heat damage or color or chemicals in general, the high level of protein will manifest as dry or brittle hair. So for me, I know coconut oil is something that I don't use like straight out the jar. I used to do that, like just add just straight up coconut oil like with a product, or to seal my ends, or to put on my hair just in general. And what I saw would happen is that my hair would end up being really dry, or it would just feel really waxy, or just feel really weird. Just for me, I know my hair is protein sensitive, and it could be again because I don't have that damage or that chemical or any color or anything in my hair that'll absorb it more. So for me, it does manifest as dry, brittle hair, and you may notice that too. Now, if you have certain products that you use that has a small amount of coconut oil, or it's mixed with other things, then your hair might, kind of give for it in that respect. And I noticed that for me, like, it depends on how much coconut oil is really present in the actual product. It also says that it can cause buildup on the hair if it's used in high consumption. So that can also be another issue. So they said it's beneficial to rotate your products so that you're not causing harm to your hair. Proteins on the exterior provide moisture retention, humectant properties, smoothing and detangling, and shine. Now, if you happen to use products that contain proteins, follow up with a moisturizing conditioner so that the protein will seal in the moisture for your hair. So if you do end up using something that has a lot of protein in it, or something that is going to essentially cause your hair to end up being dry, the only reason why it'll probably end up dry is because you don't follow up with something that's moisturizing in return. So protein is good for the hair because it strengthens it, but in certain respects, for depending on what your hair needs, it may be harmful, if that makes sense. I'm sorry guys, I'm trying my absolute best to make complete sense right now, and I think I'm almost about to hit my 10-minute mark, which is crazy. Again, I'm gonna be breaking this down into a few videos. So now let's identify what some proteins are that are found in products. Glycine, proline, cysteine, glutamic acid, methionine. You know what? I'm just going to leave the links to all these articles. They are going to have a chart for you. Each of them have a chart or a breakdown of certain examples of the things that I'll be talking about, so that you can refer back to, because I could be saying this to you and it'll just go over your head unless you're physically looking at your product. So again, I will leave the link of the examples of those proteins at the bottom. Now let's talk about silicones. And that's probably where I'm going to leave off for the first video. They're found in ingredients that end in cone, col, conol, or zane. So these silicones can cause buildup as well, which always can lead to dry and brittle hair. Now, not all silicones are bad. I know for me, sometimes having a product with silicone, it does help with slip, which I love because I have some thick hair. But the article was bringing out, which I got it from Naturally Curly, it mentions that water-soluble silicones will not cause buildup, which again, I will have the link that has the examples of water-soluble silicones. The bad silicones are the ones that are deposit repelling. They cause buildup over an extended period of time. She puts an example of that as well in her article. And then the worst ones are the ones that build up quickly and are difficult to remove. And she said to avoid these completely. So that's in there. So take a look at that. Now, she also talks about non-soluble silicones, which can't be removed or penetrated with water, which can damage the hair. It can only be removed with clarifying shampoo or shampoo that have harsh sulfates. Even if you may use them, they can essentially dry out your hair. The non-soluble silicones seal the hair shaft completely, which allows no moisture to penetrate through your hair until you wash that silicone out. Again, causes the hair to be dry, brittle, and cause breakage.